Hey, it's Vass here from Aussie RC Playground, and a look at what we have here, another Kraton. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you probably remember that I did unbox a Kraton quite a while ago, but of course that was the V1, that was version 1, and I actually love that car. I had an absolute blast with it. It got a very good review when it came review time, but of course it did have a few issues. Even though I didn't have all of them, quite a number of people out there actually had a few problems here and there with those version 1 cars. Now, of course, ARRMA have released an updated version of all their 1/8 scale vehicles. This is one of them. It's the ARRMA Kraton, of course, a 6S capable, has a new motor, an ESC, capable of 60 plus miles an hour, just like the old one. And of course I will be testing that out, as you know. Fully waterproof, 2-year warranty. Let's get rid of the box. Let's have a look at the car. This does come with a new remote, and as you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. I really like the look of this car, more so than the first version. And it does come in 2 colors as well. This is the red one. There is a green one, but it's still a different green to the original green that I had, if that makes any sense. As per usual, they have a bunch of stuff that comes in the box. I'm going to run through this very, very quickly here because obviously you've seen most of the stuff as well. It does have an extra pinion gear. I believe this is a 14-tooth pinion gear. Stock in the box is a 12-tooth, just so you know. These are little plastic pieces that go over your battery to hold it in place, whether you're running a single like 4S or 6S pack, or you're running 2.2S or 2.3S. Always good to use those, just to, a little bit of extra security for your battery. Bunch of spare tools as well, cross wrench for your 17mm hexes, as well as a bunch of Allen keys to help you work on the car. Very good toolkit. I've always supplied good toolkits with their cars. And this is a speed chart, but actually I think somebody put 2 in here by mistake. You got miles on one side, kilometers on the hour on the other, and it basically just gives you a bit of a guide, depending on the gearing and the batteries that you're using, what sort of speed you can expect out of the truck. So that's that. Now, another cool thing that they've included in this, which I really like, are XT90 connectors, and these are for your batteries. You actually put these in your batteries. So they've given you 2 female plugs. You need to put these on your batteries if you don't already use XT90s. And then these little back sort of caps that they have, they go on the back of the connectors, just so you don't have to use shrink tubing, which is a really clever thing. I know that Hobby King have been selling these for quite some time now. So very cool that they've included that, because of course in the previous version they used Dean's connectors on their cars, which weren't very good, I'll be honest. I had quite a number of problems with those connectors. They always fell apart. A couple of them melted as well. So really good to see them going to a much better quality connector such as the XT90. And of course, the user manual. Now, this manual is actually a bit thicker than the previous ones, and that's really because they have kind of put information for all 4 cars in one manual. So they'll go through part numbers for the Typhon, the Centaur, the Talon, as well as the Kraton. So that's why this guy is a little bit thicker, but essentially it's pretty much the same info that you would find on the previous manuals that they had, with, of course, a couple of extra part numbers, I think, because they've updated a few things. Some advert leaflet thing, don't have to worry about that. And plastic bag can go over there. All right, remote. The remote is the Tactic TTX 300. This is the 3rd remote that I've had like this. I, of course, got one independently that I'm using on one of my other cars, which I absolutely love. And this is a much simpler version than the one that comes on the ARRMA Nero, because the ARRMA Nero's got a little knob on it to switch between the diff modes. And this is the same one as the one that I got independently. So it runs on 4 AA's, steering dual rate. You can also adjust steering endpoints as well by programming and so forth. On and off switch down the side, reverse switches, no collapsible antennas, nothing at all. Really good range on these. I've tested these out. They've got an excellent amount of range and they feel really comfy in the hand. I've had no problems with these radios whatsoever. Very, very good radios. And now for the truck itself, of course, the ARRMA Kraton. And look at this. Doesn't this look absolutely amazing? I love the color scheme that they've gone for here. The attention to detail. Very, very cool. New tires as well, if you haven't noticed that already. Brand new tires and a HD, or kind of, I think they call it a HD wing mount. So it's a heavy duty wing mount. So they've updated the wing mount, they've updated the tyres, they've updated connectors. They've also got these little rubber thingies on the body so you don't lose your body clips, which is great because I really like that. First time I saw it was on the Nero, and of course now they've got it on all the rest of the 1/8 scale vehicles as well. The body itself feels very much the same as the old Kraton body that I had. I'm not entirely sure. I think it feels a little bit stronger, to be honest with you. I may be eating my words there. Now this is interesting. I didn't notice this on the underside of the body, and it says don't just bash, blast. So pretty cool. They've also got it on the outside here, just running along the back. But really cool design. I absolutely love it. I think the updated bodies look fantastic on the new cars. I think the Talion and the Typhon are the ones that got the short end of the stick. They didn't really change too much. The color schemes look very much identical. Just some, you really have to look closely to see some differences. But the Senton and the Kraton got the biggest makeover. So very, very cool. Now, the chassis itself, you've probably seen this guy before, except, as you can see here, new motor. Now, this is a 2050 kV brushless motor, but and it is a 4-pole motor, but it is quite a bit bigger than the old one. I believe this one is a 40x74, whilst the old one was a 40x66 or something like that, or 65. So this definitely should be a lot stronger, should have a little bit more torque as well, and hopefully should even have a bit more speed. Now the ESC is a rebranded Quick Run Hobby Wing ESC, and it says BLX 185. Now 185 does not correspond to the amps that it has. It's 150 amp ESC. The 185 is simply a code to identify that model of ESC. So just so we'd clear that up. Now, suspension on this, I think they've tweaked it a little bit because I don't remember it being this good. Not on the Kraton. The Typhon and the Senton I never had an issue with, but the Talion and the Kraton, the suspension was always a little bit iffy. And I think they've done a much better job on this one. They've definitely retuned it. The springs are still a little bit short, like they've got the shock collars wound all the way to the bottom, but at least the car is not sagging in the rear like the original Kraton was. So they've definitely tweaked something here, and it feels really, really good. Really nice ground clearance, as you can see here. I can shove my whole arm under there. No problem at all, so heaps of ground clearance. But if you want to lower the truck, you can. There are droop screws pre-installed on all the ARRMs, so you can tighten down your droop screws and bring this guy down if you want to do speed runs and so forth. The tyres themselves feel a little bit softer than the old tyres. I do have the old tyres here, and I have to say these ones feel a bit softer. So I'm really hoping that they grip. I'm hoping that they don't tear apart or anything like that. I've never had an issue with tearing up tyres. I've seen people tearing up these tyres. I don't know how they do it. Unless they're running over razor blades or something, but I've belted the hell out of the other ones and I've never ripped up a tyre before. So yeah, hopefully I don't have any issues with these because they are a little bit softer. Shock towers and everything is the same. The wing mount, as I said, is much stronger. I know a lot of people broke their wing mounts. I broke one on the Kraton when I was, after I did the upgrade video, and I tried to do like a double backflip on concrete, and the thing landed right on the wing and it snapped it. That was the only time I ever broke a wing, but people break them just by looking at the car. I don't even know how people do it. So that's, yeah, hopefully that won't give me any dramas. Front and rear sway bars pre-installed. One of the best things that they've done on this car is they've upgraded the steering knuckles, and I think they've updated the rear hubs on here as well. Just make them a little bit stronger, a little bit beefier as well, and I'll give you some close-ups of this so you can have a look at it. But very, very cool design. Lots of good upgrades on this car compared to the first version Kraton that I had. Now, the XT90s, you can see here, these are very good connectors. I won't be using these, not because I don't like them, but because I mainly use XT150s on my big batteries for my 1/8 scales. So that's the only reason why I'm going to be changing these out. Otherwise, these would be perfectly fine. It does come with that loop. So if you're running a single pack, you'll install this loop on one of your connectors, and then you can plug in just a single pack. And if you're running 2 packs, well, you take one off and then you've got 2 connectors here to connect up both of your packs. So that's what that's there for, in case you didn't know. Steering servo, I believe, is the same as the old one. So it's a 15 kilogram steering servo. Again, never had an issue with the ARRMA stock steering servos. I know of a few people that have blown them up. Again, I don't know how people do it. I beat the hell out of my servos and my cars, but I'm yet to find one that fails on me just under normal use. So I don't know. I've never had a problem with them. I think they're fine. As long as you set your joule rates or your endpoints on your remote and you don't stretch your servo, you don't overwork it, you will be totally fine. Believe these are 5mm drive shafts all the way around. They are CVDs on all 4 corners, if I'm not mistaken. No, dog bones in the rear, CVDs in the front. So just keep that in mind. I am correct on that, am I not? Yeah, dog bones in the rear, CVDs in the front. The chassis, aluminium chassis, of course, 3mm thick. Very nice. This one's going to get all scratched up. You know it will. So very cool. I don't have my old Kraton anymore. I actually traded it with my friend Paul. He gave me a couple of different cars and he took the Kraton. Obviously, I kept the electrics that I had in there, but he took that truck, and I've been dying to get my hands on another one. And now that ARRMA have finally released them, finally it's here, and you can tell by the smile on my face, I'm absolutely rapt to have this thing again. I really like this truck, and it's still advertised as a monster truck. I still think it's a monster trucky, but yeah, the ARRMA Kraton. What can I say? Absolutely love this truck. I did when I had the first version, and I think I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly again with the second version, especially with that new motor in ESC and a couple of the upgrades that they've done here. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with the suspension on this. My goodness. Does it bottom out? Yeah, it does bottom out. No problem. So yeah, very impressed. I think this is going to be a good one. Keep an eye out for the running video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Check out the video description for more information on the truck. I may even put all the links in there from my previous ARRMA Kraton vids, so you can have a bit of an idea of how it performs, or at least gauge a bit of a benchmark to how the old one performed versus how this one's going to perform. But that's it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will speak to you next time.